Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Garage Gym Experiment podcast. My name is Adam. That's Jake, and we're back again for another great episode. On tonight's episode, we have home gym trends that are going into 2025. We'll break those down for you. We have new items from Bells of Steel, a HomeGymCon update, survey results, a look back at the 2024 predictions from January, and then we have comments from last week. Jake?
All right. Thank you, Adam. So home gym trends going into 2025. So, I feel like there's been a little bit of a shift in just the home gym scene since COVID. Also just like I've been creating a home gym for like 10 years. I've been doing content for 8 years. And have been surveying the community for 5 years. So I feel like I'm a pretty good person to kind of talk about the trends going on within the industry, or just some newer things that I think like any company should be aware of within, as they're like, either creating a new product or coming to market, or just in general. I think having these in mind is going to help. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's plenty, but these are some that I've noticed recently. So number 1, evolving influences in the home gym community. So by this I mean like there's more than just like 5 influencers these days. So in 2020, I think when people didn't have a home gym, there was like 5 people they looked at and were like, what should I do with my home gym? Whereas today, with the Garage Gym Reviews Facebook group, with Reddit, with Discord, just with people scanning the comments in Instagram, there are like hundreds of people who know their stuff and are commenting everywhere with very valuable information. So it's really like, if you're a company, you want to appease them as well, not necessarily giving them free stuff, but you just want to make sure that you just want to pay attention to them. There's a number of different ways that you can like take notice and learn from them as well. But these people are everywhere. And then I'll also just mention, like, there's also plenty of home gym accounts, maybe with even like less than 500 or less than 1,000 followers, that are posting content. This content is also going to these main influences. So the word spreads. So these are the people that are communicating to hundreds of thousands of people within these groups. So that's the first one. It's more than just the 5 influencers these days. It's lots of really smart people spreading the word about your products. Number 2, mini commercial gyms in home gym spaces. So when even in 2020, but when I first started home gym stuff, it was pretty much like you did CrossFit or you did powerlifting. And even I thought people with like commercial gym looking setups, which were very rare, was kind of odd. But as I have not only noticed what other people are doing, but what I have found myself doing, just like one step at a time over time, is creating a mini commercial gym in my space. And it just makes sense because with most home gym people's mindset is they're just building out over time. It's their main thing, and they want to make it as best as possible. And after 8 years, you're not just like replacing barbells or replacing squat racks. You're like building off of what you find yourself wanting. So that's number 2. I don't see that slowing down, especially with like more people just wanting to lift weights like in a convenient and also joint friendly manner, just a sustainable manner. I think machines and pulleys are important with that. Number 3, so buy once, cry once, but still save where you can. So I do think the mantra, like, you want to buy once, cry once, still reigns supreme among like veteran home gym owners. So like you do know that you are Like, you get what you pay for. If you go cheap, it's most likely not going to last long. However, I think everyone is feeling this. The prices are up. The economy, like everything is just more expensive. So that leaves less room for people buying gym equipment. So I think there's more people who are very cost conscious about what they're buying. So I think people know to avoid a lot of the really cheap stuff, but they're going to save where they can. So, maybe, for example, like you want, I don't know, like an all-in-one, but rather than like buying a Rep Aries 2.0, you see some other options out there from maybe a brand that you don't know as much about. It's like if you can save some money, I think people are like going to try and save where they can. That's basically what I'm getting at. Number 4, convenience over cost. Going back to like when most people were building out home gyms back in 2016, 2017, I think saving money was the biggest reason people started a home gym. So they were one of the initial goals was to start a home gym so they didn't have to pay the monthly fee. These days, I don't think anybody's really, not too many people are starting a home gym to save money. It's because their lives are busy and they're just trying to optimize the rest of their life as well. So not that convenience wasn't important 10 years ago. I just think it's hyper-focused now. Number 5, the home gym as a lifestyle and hobby. So like I mentioned earlier, like a lot of people, this is their main thing. So there is a community forming around this, and there are people who are truly obsessed with building out their home gym. So it's their number one thing. They love it so much. They do things like join groups and talk about equipment on Facebook, on Instagram. They go to things like HomeGymCon just so that they can be a part of the lifestyle. I don't think this is going to go anywhere either, because I think people truly love it, and it is it's a healthy hobby, as far as health at least. So that's number 5. And then number 6, this also ties into like thinking about when I first started like 10 years ago, and a lot of people's perceptions about what a home gym looks like was it's just barbell training. It's either CrossFit or powerlifting, maybe another niche strength sport, but that's just not the case anymore. I think we did a recent poll, and I think like close to 60% were more interested in hybrid training. So it really is just you're setting up a home gym so that you can work out more efficiently and ultimately just be healthier and have longevity in mind. So those are kind of 6 trends that, I related almost all of them back to like starting a home gym like 8-10 years ago. So also want to think about this as far as like specific equipment, maybe for another topic on a podcast. But Adam, what do you think of this?
Yeah, the things that made most sense to me is like the depth of the home gyms, like where they're headed. You say many commercial gyms. I completely agree with that. I remember going to your place in like 2016, 2017, and you had like one of those first like pulley systems, where it's just basically a hanging pulley. And then you have a rope attachment on one side and it swings when you use it. But I was like, oh, this is so cool. You could do like tricep work. And just where we're at now, where the cable machine it's a pretty standard piece of equipment in gyms. It's come a long way. And like lifestyle and hobby, I really like when people talk to me about my home gym, they talk about having one and stuff like that. Or they like see what I have. It's like, yeah, but like this is my hobby. Like I can't name another thing that I really like to do. I like to get gym equipment. I like to work out. Like It's what I like to do. And so, yeah, those two things really were the big ones that like made the most sense. But all these things you see happening, and I don't see
Yeah.
them going away either. Do you remember watching like MTV Cribs, and it would be like an athlete, and they would have like a gym in their house? A gym in your house? That's insane. And like now, it's like we have gyms, so
Just about everyone has a gym in their house now.
as they should.
Yeah. All right. Next up, some new equipment. So I noticed a few new things on the Bells of Steel website. So the first is this build your own platform, which I think is a pretty good idea. So it's basically like it gives you a number of different options on how you can build out a weightlifting platform. So for example, you can choose either 1 or 3 layers as far as like thickness, 6 foot or 8 width options. So you can choose how wide you want it. There's also 2 feet to 4 foot, 2 foot to 8 foot depth choices. So you can really make it a pretty large weightlifting platform or a really tight with weightlifting platform. There are options to add corner and floor anchors, band peg options, and then also one thing that you can do as you're building this out is downgrade or upgrade at any time. So this is a cool option from Bells of Steel. I really like, for anybody who is tight on space, that like the smallest option possible seems pretty cool. Might be a little bit too tight, but I also didn't look at the price on this, but I'm guessing it's reasonable if it's from Bells of Steel.
Go ahead and continue. I'll tell you price.
All right, well let's you tell me about the price there, but next up is the Bells of Steel Sisyphean, probably pronounced that wrong, stepper. So this is a manual stepper that where you don't need a power source. So you're the one in control of it. So it allows you to basically customize the intensity of your workout by adjusting the resistance levels on what you're looking for. It's also pretty compact. It looks like it's a little bit bigger than something like the stepper, but in general, pretty compact. It and it does have like a more normal step length as well. I guess I should also mention that it is a manual. Sorry, what is that? What's that? What's
On
that
my
noise?
side,
Yeah.
that's my HVAC. That's the heat in my house. It's just part of being in the basement there.
Sometimes it just makes some like
It's like
unique noises.
the basement from Home Alone. The monster,
What I was trying to get was the resistance type is magnetic and it has 8 resistance levels. So
starting layers for the Bells of Steel. So like your smallest one layer, no band attachments, anything like that. It's like $300. It goes up from there. So
yeah, okay. And for this one, I'm pretty sure. So when I was at Ursa last year, I was talking to Kayvon, and he said, "What did you think about that manual stepper?" I was like, "I didn't see a manual stepper," and he must have got it from last year at Ursa. So I did go ahead and check out the manual stepper later. I can't remember if I liked it or not, but I think I did.
Did you say price on this one while I was looking up that? Or no?
I think it's 3,000. 3,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
All right. HomeGymCon update. So one of the primary goals this year is to really make sure that the vendors or exhibitors who come go home with as little as possible if they want to put stuff up for sale. So one of the things that's difficult is you do have to, as a vendor, you have to pack up everything and lug it in your trailer, pack it back up for shipping, which is even more expensive. So we really want to connect as many of the attendees with the companies before the events start so that they can pre-purchase items. So whether that is items that will help fund, or I guess I should say, whether those are items that they'll take to the booth to that they can sell beforehand, or actual display items. So I like the items that I think would be most interesting is for you to work with like a custom manufacturer who making custom stuff, so that you can buy it firsthand and then maybe save a little bit of money by taking it home from HomeGymCon. So this is, we're still 6.5 months out. Not all companies know exactly what they're going to bring, but this is just one thing I want to put on everybody's radar. There is going to be a long list of equipment that you can pre-purchase, and then also contact information for you to reach out to someone to try and figure out if there's something that they can make for you that you can take home to HomeGymCon. So it's kind of a win-win for just about everybody. It will likely mean less people will be taking home just like free random stuff, but I do think this is what's needed to help the vendors get the most out of their trip, and for them to want to come back year after year after year. So it will help everybody out if we can get something like this rolling, because this is also something that no other convention does. So I think we can be unique in establishing a reputation where people get great deals and they take it home after the convention. All right. Quick little survey question. We asked your level of interest in DIY projects, home gym hacks, and then the used marketplace. So as far as the DIY projects, a little over 20% voted high interest. This was pretty similar to a poll that we asked like 3 years ago. So really didn't change too much. Less than 30% medium interest. Home gym hacks, a little more interest there. But the used marketplace was the winner here with over 50% voting high interest. I've personally tried to sell a few things on marketplace recently, and it seems pretty dead. Seems pretty tough to sell.
Flat, dude. It's been bad.
It's tough, man. So
yep.
I'm surprised this one came out as high as it did.
I think it's more on the buying end. Like if somebody has something out there, would you be willing to buy? But selling lately has been
good point. That's a good point.
It's been awkward, and it's the typical stuff. But like it used to be with gym equipment, at least I felt like you would get like hard yeses and quick pickups and cash and less scammy interactions. But
yeah, it seems dead out there. Next up, just wanted to quickly go over the 2024 predictions that we asked about in January. I did a post about this on Instagram earlier today. So I'm going to go over those real quick, and then we can talk about them if you want, Adam. 33% thought that someone would have a more impressive list of product releases than Rep. I think the only one that would challenge them there is Rogue, actually Bells of Steel, and also Get Our X2, I think maybe. But I think Rep wins that one. Titan will impress us in 2024 with new product releases. Only 40% voted yes. I don't think they really came out with much, so I don't think they really impressed anybody this year. Will Rogue release better products in 2023 or in 2024 than 2003? Only 39% voted yes. I think they definitely had a lot more better products in 2024. What will have a bigger year? Home gym hacks, DIY equipment, vintage equipment, and used marketplace. Used marketplace wins that one, as we just saw. Will Rogue acquire another company in 2024? 62% said yes. I don't think they acquired any company this year. Unless they did something under the radar, but I don't think so. Will the size of the home gym community change in 2024? 57% said yes, it will grow. 29 said no, it'll stay the same. And then about 15% said yes, it will get smaller. I don't really think we have any data to say whether it changed or not. Not many people said that a piece of tech for the home gym would capture their attention in 2024. I don't really think anything did.
Beyond Ultra seems to be.
But I think that was 2023.
Was it really?
I think so.
Sure.
Or else I would say Vulture did. If Vulture was 2024, then yes. Just maybe not. It's still probably not right for most people because of the cost. But
yeah.
But it signals that it's coming.
Like the fact that. Yep.
Yeah. This one's kind of funny. Which company making USA-made products will make the most noise in 2024? The winner of this poll was Kabuki Strength with 32%. And I think they did make the most noise. Not like we were thinking, but definitely made the most noise. And then two more. Who will create the most innovative product in 2024? 40.5% voted Rep. 31% voted Bulletproof Fitness. Just 9% voted Rogue. So not a ton of faith in Rogue going into this year. And then 20% voted Other. Innovative product, most innovative product. That's a tough one to judge, but feels like the Rep-ins just kind of took it on everything. Yeah. The next one.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, the next one is who will create the best product in 2024? 51% said Rep, 19% Rogue, 20% Other, and then 10% Titan or Bells of Steel. Yeah. Tough. I mean, I just feel like the Rep-ins are so good that it's really hard. It takes away a lot of the other adjustable dumbbell recommendations.
Yeah.
Like it's hard,
and I agree completely. I struggle with like calling that an innovative product or
Yeah.
calling it the best product because it existed before as the Pep and Fat series. And now, with Rep producing them, I think it's much better with Rep producing them. I mean, they seem to be coming out in masses and at a better price point. But that's just, how you want to define the Rep-ins, which that's
right.
We're splitting hairs at that point.
Splitting hairs.
Yeah.
All right. And then I made some predictions, personal predictions. Do you not remember these?
No, this is great.
I had to go back and watch this.
Yeah.
So I made kind of like 5 different-ish predictions going into this year. So Rogue acquires another company, but it's not an equipment company. So I thought they'd acquire either supplement, apparel, or shoes. Basically with the idea that, for example, if you bought a supplement company, all of that traffic for that supplement would go through the Rogue website. So they already sell certain supplements, but I thought maybe if you had an exclusive and most likely influencer-led company, they would pump a ton of attention towards that brand. And honestly, with Rep doing that with their bars and I'm sure they want to make a pre-workout and protein. That might be the route they go.
They have a supplement line coming out, right?
They have bars right now.
I thought it was a full line that is not introduced yet, but on its way.
I don't know.
In the comments, confirm, please.
Yeah. But, I also started thinking about, I think these supplement companies, the really popular ones, crush. So, they might be very, very expensive. So, you have to find the right, up-and-coming brand or up-and-coming creator to do something with. Next prediction. The Adonis from Rep is the product release of the year. So
it's my favorite product release, but yeah. As far as popularity, there's probably others that beat it.
Yeah. But I mean it's definitely top 3, top 5. All right, trends will continue to see continued focus on rack attachments. I think yes. Adjustable dumbbells, yes, and more than functional trainer machines. I
Feels
don't
like
know.
all at once, right? Smith machine,
All in
functional
ones.
trainers. Yeah.
So I think that goes back to my like and I still think this is going to happen. It's just, like if you actually have this in your home gym, it just makes sense. So I think people are going to have a primary rack to squat, bench, bench press out of, and then a secondary all-in-one type rack. So I personally have a rack to lift out of, and then an accessory rack, which I have a Smith machine, a pulley system. I discussed putting putting together a like a mini commercial gym, and just like having all of that there makes it really just hard to decide like which specialty machine I would actually go with, because like I can do this with the Smith machine, okay, I can do this with the pulley. What am I truly missing so that I can like put together a strength machine or add another strength machine? So I do think that trend is going to eventually happen. Like people's home gyms are just going to be two different racks. And I do think it'll be the person who does this will kill it. It'll be just an all-in-one, no intentions of ever never putting a barbell on it, and it's with 3x3 posts. It's like 70 inches wide and has some sort of lat pull down as well, and pulleys off the side. So just a unit there. But no one's done it yet. So I do think that could happen this year. I bet someone hears this and they're tired of hearing me say that, and they do something about it. Trends will continue to see rep partnering with USA made manufacturers. We just saw that last week.
Look at you.
How about that?
How about that?
And then predictions on companies that would make noise in 2024. So I said Kabuki, and you'll have to like go back and listen to this, but I basically said, I know that Kabuki got recent funding and they're going to make a splash with some new products. So we talked about how there hasn't been really a new specialty bar that's hit the market in a while, and we thought Chris Duffin was the right guy to do that, to bring a new specialty bar to the world. But obviously that didn't happen. Other companies, Fringe Sport, I do think they had a good year. Dialed Motion, obviously some good products, but I do think like just taking longer than, it just takes long. So we saw them release some good products, test them out at HomeGymCon, but with these like overseas pre-orders, takes a while. So they still would be a company on my radar. And then Freak Athlete, they came out with the Hyper Pro. I don't think they did too much else last year, though.
It's a lot of add-ons with the Hyper Pro, right?
Just like, building off of what they already have. Comments from last week.
The first one's from Gavin Brown. It says, I'm sad. Cleva are no longer selling their version of the Genesis Jack. Rep will be good for scale, but the Cleva design, colors, and laser cut logo just looks so good. Congrats to Steve and Sierra on their new .2. Also, congrats from Gotcha Experiment. Guys, that's
Congrats.
Awesome. Yep. But are they no longer selling the Genesis Jack? It's just going through
that's why I put it on here, because I wasn't quite sure. So
Gotcha.
If anybody knows, feel free to throw that in the comments. I imagine they're still going to make some, but I'm also just not sure.
Right.
All right, next up, GC Strength Systems. Most neutral grip bars have been incredibly wobbly for me, and they don't ever have rotating sleeves. I can't imagine having rotating sleeves and a neutral grip. If they can pull it off successfully, that's amazing. So basically, I've put this one in there because it's true. If you don't have like the camber, when you're using it, your hands just wobble, especially if you're not used to it. So I would never buy a multi-grip bar without the camber. That's really the only reason I put that in there. And I think it's probably something a lot of people who've never tried that wouldn't know.
Gotcha. Man who barks in gym. I sometimes wonder how many times I've been someone else's song listener.
Well, the Stanton approach, think of them, so in reference to Temu versus Alibaba, think of them like this. Temu sources products directly from manufacturers and suppliers, while AliExpress hosts third-party sellers.
Big Country Platinum 5150 Repclap. Sounds like the newest weight loss pharmaceutical drug.
All right, and then Brad Van Fleet said, entirely agree with the comments about the multi-grip Smith machine attachment. I have an Ironmaster 2000 and immediately went and checked its compatibility after seeing the bridge built attachment on last week's video. Unfortunately, it appears it won't fit as the IM 2000 bar diameter is listed as 1.25 inches. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure most Smith machine bars are like over 30 in diameter, so they're not even close to what Bridge Built is selling. So it would, and I was thinking about that. They're probably all slightly different. Like the Force USA one's probably slightly different than the Ironmaster one, and it's different than what Bulletproof, or what, I guess not Bulletproof, but like what Bells of Steel just came out with. So I think it'd be pretty hard to find. You'd have to like try and create some sort of like universal attachment to comply with like the slight variances. So, but
That's gonna do it for us. Did you like tonight's episode? Be sure to keep your eye out for new episode releases. Wherever you listen to podcasts, be sure to follow Neural News. Subscribe yet? Check out the link below and sign up for more home gym content. Be on the lookout for HomeGymCon athletes. We need you signing up. Get your tickets, get your hotel room, get your flights, whatever you need. We want to see you in June in Louisville. What about Louisville time? That's not how do you actually say?
I've always just said Louisville.
Louisville. Yeah, me too. But we're from
Pretty sure that's wrong. Yeah.
Really? Well, all right. Well, so you're a little. Just kidding. All right, guys. Well, Jake, anything else left with listeners? All right, guys. Check you next time. See ya.